are a number of things that we could say are important when it comes to sales, but the truth is a lot of the success in sales really boils down to your mindset. And whether you're new or whether you're seasoned when it comes to sales, it doesn't hurt to take a moment to really reflect on what's coming up for you as it relates to how you feel about having sales conversations with prospects. Tune in today as I share some insights around a special that I learned during a special training session that I did recently, and how this question really started to spark new hashtags, new mantras, but also just really got a group of publishing company experts really excited about sales as we began to shift and tweak how they felt about going into sales conversations and the difference that it will make and the impact it will have on your success in sales. I'm Dr. Nadia, founder of the Doyen Agency and creator of Straight Talk About Sales with Dr. Nadia. Tune in today as we talk about we don't convince, we invite. I recently had the opportunity to do a special training for a group of publishing company owners. And it was so much fun to just talk with them about sales and having sales conversations and helping them enroll clients into working with them and getting their books published. And part of what came out of that conversation was as we were talking about what are the things that come up for you when you think about sales? And a lot of times I ask that question when I'm doing sales trainings. And the reason why is it's so important for you to get tuned in and really dialed into what's coming up for you, because whatever's coming up comes out and it's projected in the conversation, whether you realize it consciously or not. And so I asked this question and people are typing in their chat, all the different things that were coming up for them. And one of the things that someone said, and it's not the first time I heard it, was just, I feel like I have to convince people to work with me. I feel like when I go into these conversations that people may not be able to afford to work with me. And so going into the conversation, these are the thoughts that are running through their heads. And so they're going into this conversation already in a position of feeling kind of off or off balance. Because when you go into a conversation and you're feeling like I now have to do this work of convincing or putting on this show or showing up in a certain way in order to influence someone in a way that either they can't afford or they may not even want to, then when that's out of alignment, you show up to sales conversations just in a space of bleh, right? And so one of the things, and it actually became like a mantra during that training, and I don't know if I've ever really phrased it that way before or in the past, was that we don't convince, we invite. And that is one of the things that I am so passionate about when it comes to teaching sales and helping service-based entrepreneurs to really be more powerful in their sales conversations, is that we don't convince. When people take the time to schedule an appointment to talk with us, to learn more about how we can best serve them, we don't come to that conversation positioned to convince them to do anything. However, we do invite them when they are the right fit to take that next step to work with us. And I think it's so important that as you're looking at and really evaluating, and I invite you to take some time, grab a pen and some paper and think about what are the things that are coming up for me in my sales conversations, or before I go into sales conversations, or as I'm thinking about sales, even as an experienced or seasoned salesperson, because new salespeople, often sometimes we just have all the ideas of, I don't know, I'm nervous and this is new and this feels awkward. But even as an seasoned or an experienced salesperson, there's also the opportunity to feel like you've become jaded. You have very negative thoughts around what people can do, or people being honest, or whatever. You've been through the process. And so you may need a refresher to what are some of the that's coming up for you, even after having hundreds or even thousands of conversations with people. There's a chance that, yeah, you've become experienced, but you may have also picked up some things that are not supporting you or serving you in this season that you're moving into, or as you continue to grow as a salesperson. And which is why I always ask that question. Okay, maybe not always. I often ask that question during my sales trainings. It is because it's important that we are clear on what's coming up and what's influencing us. Because I'm telling you, whatever is in here, it comes out in how you respond to people, in how you really connect with people, whether or not you follow up with people, your tone, like it's really important. And so I invite you to just take some time to think about that. And then also remind yourself and write this down. We don't convince, we invite. You don't have to convince people. You don't have to strong arm people. You do invite them to take that next step. You do have the conversation. You do ask the questions. You do help them to see how you can support them in what it is that they say they desire. However, you don't have to convince. You don't have to strong arm them. You don't have to be sleazy or manipulative. You get to show up your full, authentic you and serve at the highest. And so I think it's important for us to just think about that. And I was super excited after that training. I was fired up, but also was just like, wow, even for myself, I've been at this for a while and I've had a lot of sales conversations. And it was important for me to say, you know what, Nadia, what's coming up for you? And how might that impact how you show up and the energy or the vibe you give off, right? Some people can feel stuff, even over the phone, even through Zoom, they can feel it. And so when you're not 100% with what's going on, maybe it's illness, but a lot of times it's this and stuff that's coming up. And we need to kind of just do a mental detox or even just bringing that to our awareness. Okay, I'm now aware that this is what's going on. And maybe I need to spend some time reflecting on that or journaling and getting it out or doing the things necessary to keep me in a space of openness and kindness and curiosity and the desire to connect and the desire to serve. Trust me, I get it. Being in sales, being a business owner, doing these things, sometimes it gets repetitive. And so even if you're seasoned or even as a new person, just know that this is a question that you have to come back to often or, annually, setting aside some time to just say, okay, what's coming up for me is I'm preparing to go into these sales conversations. Am I excited or am I feeling kind of blah? And how might that impact my ability to show up at my highest and serve the person that I have the privilege to speak with about the possibility of working with me? All right, sound good? We ready to do it? I want you to share below, share your comments. I love to hear your feedback and what's coming up for you and how are you moving beyond where you are right now. And if you're in a space where you're like, you know what, Dr. Nadia, I just don't know. I don't know. I invite you to join one of our upcoming information sessions where we share more about our philosophy around sales, how we help our clients, and more importantly, we can then discuss with you how we might be able to best serve you. So we have these quite often. So click below, schedule some time to attend one of our upcoming info sessions. I would love the opportunity to meet with you and talk more about how we might best serve you. All right. This is Dr. Nadia signing off. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.